Hello everybody, this is Dr. Owen Alphen with Alphen Veterinary Clinic. Coming to you with the second part of our two-part series about dog anxiety issues. You recall that if you watched the first one, you definitely need to watch the first one because you'll miss some things if you don't. But you'll recall that we were talking about, lately we've had a lot of thunderstorms and we're coming up on 4th of July next month. So we just thought we'd talk about, those are some things that trigger anxiety issues in dogs. So we're talking about that. So today's part of it, we're going to be talking about some supplements and stuff that are used to help with anxiety issues in dogs. And I always prefer to do non-drug issues first, non-drug treatments first before we go turn into drugs and such. So some of these things are those, but I also brought a couple of the medications that we sometimes use for anxiety issues in dogs and cats. So I don't mention cats too much. They tend to not get the storm phobia as bad, but cats have other anxiety issues. One of the things we have here is pheromones. So pheromones are basically just something that's naturally secreted by animals to tell them about danger, to tell them about that things are okay. So the calming pheromones, this particular class is called Feliway for cats, and they're just a natural calming pheromone. This one releases it from the wall so that the whole room gets the pheromones in there and it just calms them down. This is a spray you can use, like if you're going to go to the vet, you spray it inside the crate and then they're happier when they come. So it just helps a little bit. The dog version is called Adaptil, the same two things that we have. So during the time that there's storms, you might put one of these off and have it diffusing some calming, feel-good pheromones in the air. So that's one thing that sometimes helps dogs. There's another, this thing's kind of new. This is a probiotic called Calming Care, made by the people at Purina Veterinary Department. They have found that, and it's not just any probiotic, they found a particular probiotic that for some reason releases something in the body that helps dogs with stress and anxiety. It reduces and calms them down. So if you have a dog that's really hyperactive or a dog that's real high anxiety, this actually might help them calm down. So that's another very interesting thing. The company Nutramax makes some pretty good products. Soliquin is their natural calming product. There's several other ones you've probably heard of that are out there, and we used to carry some of those too. But this one combines the best ingredients for some of the natural products into one product. So I like it because it's got 4 or 5 different things that all work towards helping with calming. Now none of these things works perfectly by themselves, but in conjunction with some of the training things we talked about and doing these things, a lot of times we're going to get some help. I get a lot of questions about CBD oil products these days. That's a really popular item right now. As far as recommending it for this kind of issue, I can't really recommend it for that. I haven't seen any strong evidence that helps with that. The main thing we've been recommending it for, and we have to be careful about what we recommend that for. There's some legal and regulatory issues with regard to that, but one of the things we have seen, it works in seizure disorders in dogs. So if your dog has seizures, you may ask your veterinarian about using some CBD oil. In that situation, we know it does help. With these other situations, I really don't know. People will probably tell you it does, and it might, but I can't tell you it does or doesn't. When it comes to the point of all these things aren't working well enough, we're already doing the training things, we're doing everything we can. There's some medications. Acepromazine is a little bit of a tranquilizer that calms animals pretty well. It can be used in dogs or cats. That's one that we use, like let's say that there's a storm rolling in, you can give that 30 minutes later, it's hit the system and it can help a little bit. So that's one of the ones we use. If you've got a dog that's got anxiety all the time, or they need to be on something more constantly, sometimes the antidepressants work. This is fluoxetine, the same active ingredient that's in Prozac. You've probably heard of that for people. It's an antidepressant, but that helps sometimes with anxiety issues, separation anxiety. Clomipramine is another one, similar kind of an antidepressant that's used for separation anxiety. And usually when you're using that type of medicine, you use it all the time. There's some other ones out there that are being used, but most of the things besides the acepromazine, they're used where they got to take it all the time for it to be fully effective. All right, so hopefully we've given you a quick overview. Obviously we haven't covered everything. There's no way to do that in these short videos, but the action steps for you would be, if your dog already has separation anxiety, make an appointment with your veterinarian, have a consultation so they can tailor a treatment modality that's going to work the best for them. If your dog doesn't have them, see our previous video that talks about training steps to keep them from having it. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, keep your pets healthy, and be sure to tune into our YouTube channel regularly or subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's found under Alphen Veterinary Clinic. We appreciate you watching.